In the previous deal, we talked about Hotshots a little bit and where they're appropriate and where they're not. I think every processing area should have a Hotshot. The rule of thumb is nobody gets to carry it around. So if you need it and one won't go, we do have to get things done, right? I see people that they'll take feed and bait cattle through the system. No, they got to learn to work, okay? And so we can get cattle too gentle. We can get them where they won't respond to pressure, and that's just about as bad as too much pressure. Right here is the area where I see most Hotshot use. And this is the area we can fix by the way we run the chute. I was at a ranch one time, and they were Hotshotting every cow to get them on the chute. And I mean, they were having to light them up, but they were not letting this one see that one leave. So I asked the manager who was running the hydraulic chute, I said, just crack your back gate as that one's leaving, just like she was doing here. Out of 300 more cows, they touched 3 of them with a Hotshot. So it makes that much difference to create that draw through there. Okay, so remember that. They've got their Hotshot over here somewhere in a little stash. And the thing is, if you're right here and you can't get cattle to go, when you walk over to get your Hotshot, you take pressure off. And a lot of times they'll go ahead and move forward as that release of pressure. So always try that. I see a lot of feed yards, they'll mount the Hotshots up here because they don't want anybody carrying one, but they're right there handy, so they always pick them up, use them, set them back down. Don't care for that either. So try to set it away somewhere where you have to go get it. I don't think it ought to be in the office. I've seen places where you had to go check them out and everything else nonsense. The crew ought to be better than that. And so if that's the case, then you don't trust your processing crew at all. So try to have access to them, have it in working order. Flags, whips, I don't care for whips particularly because you normally hit somebody's ear with it. If you let a Hotshot in somebody's hand and try to see how far the blue spark will go on the pipes and run it between somebody's legs or act like they're Hotshotting somebody. So yeah, y'all are all looking at one another. It's always the boys too. Last bunch they actually were naming names who it was. But flags and sorting sticks and paddles all have a place. As wide as that alleyway was, a paddle or a flag probably would have been helpful to extend yourself out a little further. But they're not necessarily most of the time. If you're trying to learn how to work cattle, try to work it without a sorting aid, and that way you learn where your body position will be. But what we see, a lot of people don't have enough confidence when they first start, and a paddle or stick adds confidence to them. And cattle respond to confidence. We were doing a session up in Colorado with Dr. Grandin one time, and I was bringing cattle to her. I was doing kind of like I was here, and she was at the chute talking. And the cattle were flowing really good. I was kind of proud of myself. And she said, you know, this system's working better than it normally does. And said, part of it's Ron's presence. Said he has a big presence. She hesitated, said, a really big presence. So I think she called me fat on Facebook Live one day, which she probably did. But anyway, you do have to have a presence. And so that's where sometimes a driving aid can add oomph to you and confidence to you. So if you're timid, cattle will respond negatively to that. So when you go in, you got to go in like you know what you're doing. If they respond not like you want them to, you can back off, reposition, go again. But you got to go in with confidence. So if you go in timid, they know it. They read you just like you're reading them. And they make a judgment pretty quick. I've seen really calm cattle start to get aggressive when a timid person comes to them. It's kind of interesting to watch how quick they'll, same thing in school, right? You show a little weakness, the bullies show up. And so you got to be careful about that. Same things happen all other species. Any questions?